Okay, g'day guys, Wereman here. Welcome back to the workshop. Been procrastinating just a wee smidge on what to do and what order to do it in and all that sort of jazz, as I usually do. I've had an idea for a scenario for Adam and I once we get through these vehicle show-offs and things like that, to maybe show off a little bit more of the force building options that you've got. And I'll go into that idea. I'm just going to run a couple of things past Adam. But before I do that, I thought it might be an idea to go through some of the basic stuff. So we've had a comment or two where stuff isn't exactly like completely clear, and one that was fairly valid where we've not really gone into the like background basic stuff. So we didn't actually say we were doing critical hits, and we didn't actually say that you take the damage stat from the stat line of the weapon you're firing, and you apply that number of points of damage to the location that you hit, and you just cross off armor circles, and then you go into internal, and that's when you get to do a check. So we didn't actually mention that, and it's a good thing. Just let us know if we do that, because it is, I think when you play enough games, that sort of base foundation level stuff just kind of sits at the background, and you don't really think about it after you've been playing for a while, and it just comes naturally, and then you forget to mention it to somebody else when you're trying to teach them. I've always found that the easiest way or the best way to learn something is to try and teach it to somebody else. So this is the kind of thing that you have to watch out for. So what I want to do is go through some of the basic stuff. Now, I want to do this, I mean, this scenario may or may not happen, right? It might not ever happen, but this is the idea that I've had. And I want to do it with C-bills, and I want to do it with formations. Now, if you haven't seen formations, there's a short, slightly simpler version in the Clan Invasion BattleTech rulebook. But the full version is also in Campaign Ops. Now, before I go into the actual formations and what they do and how you build one and all that sort of stuff, I thought the organizational scheme and some fairly basic things along that level might be a good idea to put into just a quick little thing first. So, I mean, if you know your BattleTech, you've been playing BattleTech for a long time, you probably know this stuff, so you can probably skip this one. We've screwed this up a couple of times, so I'm going to go into this one just quickly so that you know. For mechs, a light mech is 20 tons to 35 tons. You build your mechs in 5-ton lots. A medium mech is 40 tons to 55. A heavy is 60 to 75. An assault is 80 to 100. And the super heavies go 105 to, I think, 200. Right, so just so you know. If we stuff that up, feel free to point it out, but it is a fairly easy thing to mess up. I mean, we don't keep that like list next to us or anything like that. The other thing was the organizational stuff. So the forces get organized differently depending on who you're fighting as, what faction you are. And there's a really cool little table on page 59 of Campaign Ops, which has, it's the standard force organizational schemes table. It's got inner sphere and periphery force groups, just general. It's got clan force groups and Comstar and Word of Blake force groups. And it just goes through what's in each type of thing and the command rank of the person who's in charge of it. And I just wanted to go quickly through the basics. So a lance for inner sphere is 4 ground units. Now that can be mechs or vehicles, obviously. A company is 3 to 4 lances. So if you start with the lowest, 3 lances of 4 is 12 units. 4 lances of 4 is 16 units. And that's what I've done through this whole thing. When I read out units, I've gone the smallest amount times the smallest amount, the largest amount times the largest amount. So you've got a min and a max. Okay? So a company is 3 to 4 lancers, which is 12 to 16 units. A battalion, which is the next one up, is 3 to 4 companies, which is 36 to 64 units. A regiment is 3 to 4 battalions, which can be anywhere from 108 to 256 units. And then a brigade is 3 to 6 regiments, which is anywhere from 324 to 1,536 individual units. And that's a lot of models. That's a lot of models. So you probably already know, but just for people who don't, the clans do theirs slightly differently, and so do Word of Blake and Comstar. The clans work on a base of 5. So they build stars with 5 mechs. But they do their points slightly differently. So a point is a single mech. So a star is 5 points. But a point is 2 vehicles or fighters. So a star of vehicles is actually 10 units. Then you've got the binary, which is 2 stars. So you'll have 10 mechs or 20 vehicles or fighters. A trinary, which is 15 mechs. It's 3 stars. So it's 15 mechs or 30 vehicles. A cluster is 3 to 5 binaries or trinaries. So it can be anywhere from 30 mechs or 60 vehicles all the way up to 75 mechs or 150 vehicles. And a galaxy is 3 to 5 clusters, which means you've got anywhere from 90 mechs or 180 vehicles all the way up to 375 mechs or 750 vehicles or fighters. And then they do a special one called a Nova, which is basically a mix of a star of mechs and a star of infantry. So it's 5 mechs, 5 infantry, and then they do a supernova binary and a supernova trinary, which is 2 novas or 3 novas. But yeah, slightly fewer units in those organization strata, but far higher quality. So I guess it all balances out. And then Comstar works on 6s for some bizarre reason. I guess they just felt like they had to keep going up, I suppose. But so your level 1 is a unit. So a vehicle, a mech, a fighter, right? 1 unit. A level 2 is 6 level 1s, which is 6 units, right? A level 3 is 6 level 2s. It keeps going up in 6s. So you go, a level 2 is 6. A level 3 is 36 units. A level 4, which is 6 level 3s, is 216 units. And a level 5, which is 6 level 4s, is 1,296 units. So you've got this, the inner sphere definitely has more units per organizational level, usually, but they're lower quality and they can be, they're a lot cheaper, they're a lot lower quality, etc., etc. The tech levels aren't quite the same. But yeah, so what I'm going to look at next, and it'll probably be a new audio, is formations. Now, a formation, the way they do it here is 1 lance, 1 star, or 1 level 2, right? And so that is, the rules apply to each of those equally. So the formations have a requirement for certain things. So many of the units in that formation have to have this, right? And that applies no matter whether you're using a lance, a level 2, or a star. In the clan rulebook, they call it a star, so it'll be assault star or a cavalry star or whatever, but it applies to all 3 of those different organizational units, right? So you apply the rules the same way, you apply the requirements the same way, everything's the same, you just have slightly more units to work with. And yeah, I'm thinking this could be a bit of fun to see if we can build a force using these formation building rules. I'm just interested to see if it happens. Like I say, it may not happen. You never know. But that's what the next audio is going to be about, is how you build a formation at base level. All right. Anyway, that's my 10 minutes. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you later.